first section, that is the flag register. We know that Pentium processor has three types of registers, isn't it? One category is the general purpose register, another is control register, and the third category is segment register. So in this section, we will discuss about the control register. So control register has two different types of register. One is called flag register and another is instruction pointer register. And for Pentium processor, all these registers are 32-bit registers. So we can call the flag register as extended flag register since these are 32-bit registers. And another control register is instruction pointer, that is extended instruction pointer register. And again, we can divide the flag register into three categories. One is status flag register, and then control flag register, and the third category is system flag register. So in total, the Pentium processor has 17 32-bit flag registers, and these 17 registers are divided into three categories. The first 6 registers are called status flag register, and these are carry flag, parity flag, auxiliary carry flag, zero flag, sign flag, and overflow flag register. These are called status flag. Why? Because after any arithmetic, logical, or relational operation, these flag registers value will tell us what is the status of the processor after that operation. And another category is control flag register. So it will control the execution of the operation. And another category is system flag register. So in this section, we'll mainly discuss the first category, that is the status flag register. So is it clear what is status flag register? It will tell us the status of the processor after the arithmetic operation. So there are 6 types of status flag register: carry flag, parity flag, auxiliary carry flag, zero flag, sign flag, and overflow flag. And these are the short form of these flag registers. Is it clear the functionalities of status flag register? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, how these flag registers value will be changed? So it depends on the arithmetic, logical, and relational operation. So how many arithmetic, logical, or relational operations can be done by Pentium processor? We know the name of the operation, right? The addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, increment, decrement. These are some arithmetic operations performed by Pentium processor. What about logical operation? The logical operations are logical AND or XOR, negation or not, right? And the relational operations are compare, move, exchange, greater than or equals to, less than or equals to. So these operations can be performed by the Pentium processor. So after the operation, each of these flag registers will be changed. Okay, there are some operations which can affect all these 6 flag registers, or there are some operations which affect only 2 or 3 flag registers. Okay, so how many flag registers will be used for representing the status after any operation? It depends on what type of operation is done. If it's addition operation, then all these 6 flag registers value will be changed. If it is increment operation, then only 5 flag registers value will be changed. So you need to know how many flag registers will be affected by the type of arithmetic, logical, or relational operation. So there are 6 status flag register, and their main functionality is their value reflects the status or the condition of the processor after any arithmetic operation. Okay, so status flags are updated to indicate certain properties of the result. One example is if the result is 0, 0 flag is set. So this status flag register can have 2 values. One is called 0 and another is 1. So when the value of any flag register is 1, that means it's in set state. We can say that the flag register is set if the value is 1. or after any operation or based on the result, if we change the status flag's value to 0, we can say that the value is in cleared state. So there are two types of value for any system, or sorry, status flag register. One value is 1 and another is 0. So when the value of any flag register is 1, that means the flag is set. If the value is 0, the flag is cleared. So once a flag is set, that means when the value of any flag register will be 1, it remains in that state until another instruction that affects the flag is executed. So look at this example. There are total 6 flag registers, right? And each flag register will be affected by some arithmetic, logical, or relational operation. Okay, so in this example, we are going to change the value of 0 flag register. So 0 flag is a status flag register. It's a 32-bit register. And how we're going to change the value of 0 flag register? Obviously, it depends on the result of the arithmetic operation, right? So when we're going to change the value of 0 flag register, the name of this flag register is 0 flag, and the flag register can be in set condition or in clear condition. Okay, so after any arithmetic operation, when the result will be 0, at that time the value of 0 flag register will be 1. After any arithmetic operation, if the result is not 0, then the value of 0 flag register will be 0. Okay, so I'm giving you an example. Suppose this is an example. The first instruction is move AL, 0FH. This is an hexadecimal number. And then add AL, 0F1H. Okay. So the first instruction is a move instruction, and the destination operand is a register, right? And this is 8-bit register, right? AL is 8-bit register, and we are going to initialize the register by this value, 0F. So AL is 8-bit register, which means that it can take 8-bit number. Okay, and why we have added a 0 before F? Because hexadecimal number starts with a decimal digit. We can't write just FH because it's an inappropriate way to write the hexadecimal number. So the hexadecimal number should be started with a decimal digit, and that decimal digit is now 0. So we are going to write the binary representation of 0F. AL is 8-bit register, so the binary value of 0 is 0000, and F equals to 1111. So AL is 8-bit register, and we have initialized the register using the value 0FH. Now the next instruction is add AL 0F1. So after initializing it, now we are going to add 0F1 with the current value of AL. What is the current value of AL? 00001111. And what is the binary representation of F1? Look, AL is 8-bit register, so we can store only 8-bit number. That's why we're going to ignore the leading 0 bit. So the binary representation of F1 is 1111. Then 1 equals to 0001. Now we're going to add this 2 value. So after the addition, what will be the result? 1 plus 1 equals to 0. 1 plus 1, 0. 1 plus 1, 0. 1 plus 1, 0. 1 plus 1, 0. Then again 0, 0, 0, 1. This is the result of this addition, right? So now in this result, how many bits you got? Total 9 bits, but this AL is 8-bit register. So it will take only the rightmost 8 bits, and this leftmost bit will be discarded, or we can call it a carry bit. AL is 8-bit register, so only 8-bit number can be stored inside that register. After adding this 2 number, we got a result with 9 bits. So Since the size is greater than the size of accumulated register, we are going to ignore the leftmost bit. So this is our result. Now if we convert it into hexadecimal or in decimal, we will get the result 0. So when the result of the arithmetic operation is 0, at that time, the value of 0 flag register will be 1. That means the 0 flag register is set after the previous arithmetic operation. Is that clear? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
What about the others? Is it clear to you? When the 0 flag register's value will be 1?
Can you repeat again?
Okay. So this 0 flag register's value depends on the result of your arithmetic, logical, or relational operation. Okay, so this 0 flag register can have two types of value. One is 0, another is 1. So when the result of the arithmetic operation will be 0, at that time, we are going to add the value 1 to this 0 flag register. That means now the 0 flag register is set. This is the name of this flag register is 0 flag. So it will be true when the result of the arithmetic operation is 0. But when the result of the arithmetic operation is not 0, then its value will be 0. That means now the 0 flag register's value, it's false for the previous arithmetic operation. Suppose we are adding two numbers. We are going to add 7 with 5. So 7 plus 5 equals to 12. And if we're using AL register, that is 8-bit register, yes, and if the binary representation of 7 is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, sorry, 0, 1, 1, 1, and the binary representation of 5 is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. Now, if we add these two numbers, we'll get the result 1 plus 1, 0, 1 plus 1, 0, 1 plus 1, 0, 0 plus 1, 1, then 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. Look, now, after the addition, we got exactly 8-bit result, isn't it? And this result is not 0. The decimal value of this result is 12, which is not 0. At that time, the value of 0 flag register will be 0. Because the result of the previous arithmetic operation is not 0, it's greater than 0. So when the result is 0, the value of 0 flag register will be 1 because it's true for the previous result. If the result is not 0, then 0 flag register value will be 0. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, clear, ma'am.
Okay, so we can say that the arithmetic operation, that is addition, can affect the 0 flag register. That means after any arithmetic operation, the value of 0 flag registers will be changed. Okay. So now, can you solve this problem? Give me a minute. Is it visible?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
I don't know what, just give me a minute. Can you see the whole screen?
Yes.
Hello? Instruction is move AL 55H. So initially the value of zero flag register is zero. That means the processor didn't perform any arithmetic operation. So the value of zero flag register is zero. Now the first instruction is move AL, 55H. Is it an arithmetic operation?
No, ma'am.
I told you
ma'am.
that
Ma'am, his screen is showing black.
it's not mandatory that all the flag registers will be affected by all the arithmetic operation. Few operation can affect only 2 or 3 flag register, or some operations can affect all the flag register. So it depends on the type of operation. So in this instruction, the type of operation is move. So actually, initially AL equals to 0. So we are initializing this register. So it's not any arithmetic operation because you're not going to get any result after this move operation. So we are just initializing the register. So after the operation, now AL equals to 55H, and the value of zero flag register is still 0. Now the next operation is sub AL 55H. After the first operation, after the move operation, the value of AL is 55H. It's hexadecimal number. And now if we subtract the same data, that is 55H from 55H, what will be the result?
0.
0, right? Look, I'm writing the instructions here. The first instruction is move EAX or AL 55H. So after this operation now AL equals to 55H, and then the next operation is sub AL 55H. And when AL equals to 55H, the value of zero flag register is 0. Okay. Now the next operation is a subtraction operation. So we are going to subtract 55H from 55H. So after this subtraction, the result will be 0. And we know that if the result of any operation is 0, the value of zero flag register will be 1. So after this subtraction operation now, zero flag register equals to 1. Okay. Now the next operation is a push operation. And what is push? We are just going to insert a new element. So we are going to insert a new register, push EBX, and initially EBX equals to 0. So after this operation, what will be the value of zero flag register? The value of zero flag register will remain unchanged when before any other execution. Okay, so but after the second operation we got ZF equals to 1, and now the processor will perform a push operation and it will going to insert a new register, that is EBX. So after this operation, what will be the value of ZF? The value will be unchanged because we didn't get any result after the push operation. That means the move and push operation, these two operations, they don't affect the zero flag register. Okay. After that, we are going to perform another operation, that is move EBX, or we can take just the lower byte of 32-bit register. Okay, so now move BL equals to AL. After a move operation now, what is the value of BL? These are some sequential operation. That means one operation is related to its previous operation. Look. BL and it's 0. Initially it's 0. And now the next instruction is move BLAL. We're going to take a copy of the copy of the data of AL register, right? And after the second operation, the value of AL register is 0. The second operation is a subtraction operation where AL equals to 55 and the source operand is also 55. After the result now, this value is going to be stored inside the destination operand. After this subtraction operation, now the result of AL is 0. So you're going to initialize BL register by using the value of AL. So now BL equals to 0. And then what will be the value of ZF? This move operation will not change the value of ZF register. So ZF equals to 1. Okay, now the next operation is pop BL. What type of operation it is? It's a delete operation. That means you're going to delete the register BL. So after a pop operation, the value of zero flag register will not be changed. Okay. Now the next operation is another push operation. So we're going to take another register CL, and after that we're going to initialize it. So move CL 0. And this push and move operation will not affect the zero flag register, so its value will be unchanged. ZF equals to 1. Now after that, we are going to perform another operation, that is increment CL. What is increment operation? 1 will be added with the value of CL, and after this operation, CL equals to 0. Right? And now if we add 1 with 0, what will be the result? 0 plus 1 equals to 1. So the result of this arithmetic operation is not 0. That's why the value of zero flag register will be 0. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So the value of zero flag register will be 1 when the result of the arithmetic operation will be 0. The result is 0, that means zero flag register is true, its value will be 1. But when the result is not 0, it is false. The value of zero flag register will be clear. Any confusion? Hello.
No, ma'am.
Is it clear? Okay. So can you solve this two problem? Now, two arithmetic operations will be given. You have to find out what will be the value of zero flag register after these two operations. So the first operation is move AX. Now it's a 16-bit register. Then 0 FFFFH increment AX. After this operation, what will be the value of zero flag register? You have to figure it out. If the result is 0, then its value will be 1. Otherwise, the value of zero flag register will be 0. So after the move operation, what will be the value of this 16-bit register? The hexadecimal number is 0 FFFFH, and this 16-bit register can take a 16-bit number. So we're going to ignore the leading digit 0. So the binary representation of FFFF is there will be 16 1-bit, right? And now the second instruction is increment AX. That means we are going to add 1 with the current value of AX register. So what will be the result of this addition operation?
0.
16 0-bit. We are going to get 16 0-bit with a carry bit 1. Right? There will be 1 carry bit. So the result is 1 0 0 0 0. So AX is a 16-bit register, but the result we got is 17-bit number. That's why this bit will be discarded. So now the result of this operation is 0. When the result is 0, the value of zero flag register will be 1.
1.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
So
ma'am.
now we can see that these increment operation also affect the zero flag register. It can change the value of zero flag register. So addition operation, subtraction, increment, these operation can change the value of zero flag register. But the move, exchange, push, pop, this operation cannot change the value of zero flag register. So another example is move EAX. Now it's a 32-bit register 1. Then decrement EAX. So what will be the result of this operation? And what is the value of ZF?
1.
Move EAX 1. So we are initializing the register EAX, and it's 32-bit register. So in how we'll write the binary representation? There will be 31 0-bit, and then the last bit will be 1. And if we subtract 1 from 1, the result will be 1 minus 1 equals to 0. So if the result is 0, the zero flag register will be set. Its value will be 1. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now another operation is move AL 7, decrement AL. So what will be the value of zero flag register?
0.
0.
Why 0? Yes, sorry. Yes, 0. 7 minus 1 equals to 6. So the result is not 0. Its value is very good. Okay, so this is zero flag register. So when the result is 0, what will be the value of zero flag register? It will be in set state. That is, its value will be 1. If the result of the arithmetic or logical operation is not 0, then the zero flag register's value will be 0. So this is one of the status flag registers. And now the second one is CF, that is carry flag register. So almost all the arithmetic operation affect this one, except the increment and decrement operation. Okay, so now what is carry flag register? It also can have two types of value, 1 and 0. The previous one was 0 flag register and its value depends on the result of previous operation, right? What about carry flag register? This carry flag records the result of an arithmetic operation of unsigned integer. So what is unsigned integer? There are two types of integer. One is signed integer, another is unsigned integer. And if the operation is going to be performed on unsigned integer, at that time, this carry flag value will be changed. So that's why we need to know what is signed number or what is unsigned number. So signed integer, that means the integer number will be positive as well as negative, right? And what about unsigned integer? In unsigned integer, all the integers are actually positive, right? So now if the size of unsigned integer is 8, suppose you are going to store the unsigned integer inside the 8-bit register. So what will be the range of data? What will be the range of value that will be inserted inside AL register? AL is 8-bit register. So what will be the range of value? The range will be 2 to the power 8, that is 256. So we can store all the numbers from 0 to 255 inside 8-bit register. This is AL register. And this register is 8-bit register. So these are the bit position 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in this register, we can store all the value, all the positive integer from 0 to 255. That means the lowest integer is 0 and its binary representation will be 80 bits. And the highest or maximum integer number will be 255, and this is the binary representation. So inside 8-bit AL register, in any 8-bit register, we can store all the positive integers from 0 to 255. So this is the range of value. So this is for unsigned integer. What about signed integer? In signed integer, some value will be positive and some numbers will be negative. So we can divide this data into two halves. The first half for the negative numbers and the second half for the positive number. So the range of signed integer will be minus 128 to minus 1. These are the negative integer, and the positive integers are 0 to 127. So there are total 128 negative numbers and 128 positive numbers. So total 256 numbers can be represented. Is that clear?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Now another thing is when the number is signed number, how we are going to understand that this number is positive number, this number is negative number when the binary representation will be given. Suppose a number is given 10011101. Is this a positive number or negative number? One zero zero one 1101. Is this positive
Positive.
Negative.
integer or negative integer?
Negative integer.
Very good, negative integer. So when you are going to represent some signed number, there will be some negative and positive numbers. So the leftmost bit, this bit will be used for representing the sign. So if the leftmost bit is 1, the number is negative. If the leftmost bit or MSB is 0, then the number is positive. So here the MSB is 1, that means it's a negative number. If the number is 00110101, so here the MSB is 0, it's a positive number. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And another thing is, suppose you have to represent the number minus 125. So how we are going to represent it? 8-bit number. By using 2's complement. So at first we'll convert 125 into binary and then we'll apply 2's complement method. For representing a negative number, we'll use 2's complement. Okay. So the first condition is we need to take some unsigned number if we want to change the value of carry flag register. Okay, so this carry flag register will store the result of an arithmetic operation of some unsigned number. So how we're going to change the value of CF register? For 8-bit unsigned integer, the range is 2 to the power 8, that is 256. Okay, and the range of value is 0 to 255. So suppose after an arithmetic operation, we got the result 256, which is out of this range. So at that time, the value of carry flag register will be 1. Or suppose after the arithmetic operation, we got a value which is less than the range. -2 is less than the value 0 to 255. Okay, so at that time also the value of carry flag register is 1. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm explaining it again. What will be the definition of carry flag register? The definition will be the carry flag records the fact that the result of an arithmetic operation on unsigned number is out of range, that is too big or too small to fit inside the destination register. So after the operation, if we get a number which is greater than the range, that means we can't store the result inside that register. So at that time, the carry flag register's value will be 1. Or after the arithmetic operation, if we got a result which is too small to insert inside the register, at that time also the carry flag register will be 1. So you just have to find out whether the result is within the range or out of the range. If the value is out of the range, then the carry flag register's value will be 1. So I'm giving you an example. Move AL 0FH and AL 0F1H. Now look at the destination operand. The destination operand is a register and it's the lower byte of 16-bit accumulator register. So this is a lower byte, that means it can take total 8-bit data. And 8-bit equals to, 2 to the power 8 equals to 256. So the AL register can take all the data from 0 to 255, and these are the decimal number. Now look at the instruction. Move AL 0FH. So what will be the value of AL after the move operation? AL equals to 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. Now the next instruction is add AL 0F1. The value of AL is 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. We are going to add F1 with this data. So F equals to 1, 1, 1, 1. And the binary representation of 1 is 0, 0, 0, 1. Now add these two numbers. What will be the result? The result will be 1 and then 8 0 bits. This is the result, right? So this is a 9-bit result, and after the operation, we can change the value of 0 flag register. That is, the result is 0, so ZF equals to 1. But what about carry flag register? Its value will be changed when the result is too small or too big. I mean, if the result is out of the range. Okay, so after this arithmetic operation, we got a carry bit, which means that this result is obviously greater than the range, isn't it? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
For 8-bit register, the range is 0 to 255, and all these numbers are 8-bit number. If we convert the decimal number 0 to 255, we'll get 8-bit number. But now, after this operation, we got a 9-bit number, which means that the result is greater than the range. If you want, you can convert this number into decimal. So 00001111, it's the binary representation of decimal 15. Its decimal value will be 15. What about 11110001? 2 to the power 7, 128 plus 64 plus 32 plus 16 plus 1. That is 241. Now, if we add 15 with 241, what will be the result? 5 plus 1, that is 6. 1 plus 5, 1 plus 4, 5, 2. Now look at the result. The result is 256, which is out of the range. That's why the value of carry flag register will be 1. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
After any arithmetic operation, if you get a result which is greater than the range or less than the range, then the value of carry flag register will be 1. So what about this operation? Move AL 7 and AL 3. What will be the value of 0 flag register as well as the carry flag register? So AL is 8-bit register and its range is, the range of value is 0 to 255. The binary representation of 7 will be 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1. What about 3? Its binary representation is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1. Now after the addition, the result will be 1 plus 1, 0, 1 plus 1, 0, plus 1, 1, 1 plus 1, 0, then 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. And look, after the addition operation, we got exactly 8-bit result. That means the value is within the range. 7 plus 3 equals to 10, and 10 is a value within the range 0 to 255. So after this operation, what will be the value of CF?
0.
What is the value of CF? 0. Very good, because we didn't get any large or smaller number than the range. There is no carry bit. If the result has a carry bit, then carry flag register's value will be 1. And what about the value of 0 flag register? The result is 10, not 0. That's why its value will be 0. Is it clear? Operation is move AL 5 sub AL 8. Now what will be the result? The binary representation of 5 is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, and 8 is 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. So look at this number. The first number is 5 and the second number is 8.
Yes,
if
ma'am.
you're going to subtract, the second number will get a negative number minus 3. And in this subtraction also, we need to take a borrow. So this minus 3 is out of the range because for 8-bit, now 8-bit register, this is the range of the value 0 to 255. So you can't take a negative number. This is too small to store inside AL register. So at that time, the value of carry flag register will be 0. Clear? Is that clear?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, I'm not
So-
clear. Can you repeat it?
Yeah. So look at your destination operand. Your destination operand is AL and its size is 8-bit. The size of destination operand is 8-bit. So it can take some 8-bit numbers. So how many 8-bit numbers it's going to take? What will be the possible range of value? The range is 2 to the power 8, that is 256, but we are going to take some unsigned number. That means all the numbers will be positive. That's why the range is 0 to 255. So if you got a result where the value is greater than 0 but less than or equals to, greater than or equals to, or less than or equals to 255, then you got a result within the range. At that time, the value of carry flag register will be 0. But after the operation, if you get a result which is less than 0, that means some negative numbers which is greater than 255, that is 256, 257, and these numbers will not be 8-bit number. That means for the result which is greater than 255, you're going to get some carry bit, or the result which is less than 0, you need to take some borrow. In that situation, the value of carry flag register will be 1. So if the result is within the range, then the carry flag register's value will be 0. But if it's out of the range, then its value will be 1. If the result has any carry bit or any borrow bit, the result of CF register will be 1. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, we will
But
always
ma'am-
consider the unsigned numbers.
It would, yes, ma'am.
Yes, only for unsigned number. Only for unsigned number.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
And
if
the
we consider it
most
as
important thing is the size of your register. If you are taking AX, at that time, it's possible the range will be 2 to the power 6. That is from 0 to 65,535. So at that time, if you get a result which is greater than 65,535, then carry flag shall be 1. So it depends on the size of your destination operand. For carry flag register, all the value will be unsigned number. Okay. So we can say that the addition operation, subtraction operation affects the carry flag register, but the increment and decrement operation doesn't affect the carry flag register. I'll tell you why they don't affect the carry flag register in the next class. Okay. Thank you.